All right, let's settle down, settle down, settle down. Our guest speaker hails from Oregon now. He moved from Southern California. His wife wanted a little bit more land to be play around with our horses, and got a little pond up there. You can watch the duckies and all that stuff. I like that. It's quiet up there. I'm sure it's very quiet. With that said, let's get our guest speaker on and let's see what we're going to see. We're going to apply what we learned today. Without further ado, let's give a warm welcome to Regional Vice President, the great, the one and only, Mr. Dean Tarrolly.
What's up, Mr. T? Good morning. Hey, everybody. What's going on? Good to see all of you. I'm happy to be here. Let's start where we always do. Appreciate this opportunity to be with you guys. It's been a lot of years. I've been doing this call every other month on Thursday mornings, and as I've said many times, between Al and his leadership and experience and all the different people that he has come on here, this is a volunteer army, and people are going to choose to take in information and apply it or not apply it. And that's one of the best parts about our business is we know that we're doing our job if we're giving you guys the information that you need, that we believe is going to help you build your business. And what's great about it is this. Most of you, or a lot of you, are not even on Al's team. And he does this, and it just kind of shows it's a perfect example of servant leadership. And Al, I appreciate everything that you do for the team, for the company, for all the leaders, to create an opportunity and, to learn like this, an environment like this. Always super supportive. Sometimes we have to have tough discussions. You and I have talked about that in the past, and sometimes, sometimes people need a hug. Sometimes they need a handshake. Sometimes they need a size 12.5 Doc Martin in the butt. And what I mean by that is sometimes we need to get kicked into action. Sometimes we need to be reminded, right? And it's important because here's what I know. Really good students want to be taught. I want to be taught. Really good athletes want to be trained. Right? People, they want to be tested and challenged. The only question out of all these topics that we go over is, do you want that for you? Are you willing to put yourself in an environment where you're going to be pushed a little bit beyond maybe what you're expecting? How about this? Here's a big one. This is huge to me. How many of you guys understand that your growth happens as soon as you get out of your comfort zone? Even just a little. So, so Al, I appreciate you, everything that you do for all of us. So thank you so much. And it's great to be here. So I have said on many occasions, unapplied knowledge is useless. You can have all the knowledge in the world, but if it's not applied, what difference does it make? Right? Especially when you're in a business where you can build a team, build an organization, build a group, right? And what I talked about last week, in addition to that, and this is the thing it was so important, is we tell people, hey, this is your business. You got to treat it seriously and treat it, take it personally. Like, this is your business. And then in the very next sentence, you hear us say, don't take it personal. Someone responds that, right? So you personally need to be vested in what you're doing, but don't take reactions personally. Well, there's a second part of that, and that's what I'm going over today, right? So last week, I said, you got to take your business personally, but then we tell you don't take it personally. That's on somebody's reaction. That's on somebody's response, right? Just a side note before I dive in, I want you guys to know this. When you're out there, if you're out there, I should say, if you're out there building your business and you're talking to people and you pique someone's interest, you get them a little curious. If they start giving you opinion about this without them seeing the information from you or your leader, I give you permission to end the conversation. Oh, I've seen ACN 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 3 years ago, 6 months ago. By the way, 6 months ago, guess what? We did not make the announcement for online banking and home and auto insurance. It's a different company. It's a different company. So if you pique someone's interest and they give you any kind of reaction that's other than a red apple positive reaction or a positive green apple reaction, if they give you anything other than that, I give you permission to cut the cord on the conversation. Don't dance as fast as you can trying to make them sound, trying to, let them know how great it is. That's not your job, right? In fact, that's what they're expecting you to do. Now, ladies, you know this way better than the men. You walk away, we chase, right? Like, isn't the truth? Like, we know that. So listen, you're allowed to take that. You're allowed to take that invitation away. So I'm going to just be very clear about that. So last week we talked about taking your business personally, but not taking the reactions or the responses from people personally, right? So there's a second part to this that I was, I feel like I'm prepared to communicate with you guys today. And here's what it is. We tell people all the time, manage your time, manage your emotions, manage yourself, right? And then in the very next sentence, you'll hear the leader say, don't manage people. Don't manage them. That is not your job. Your job is not to manage them. So these are conflicting ideas. So last week, the conflicting ideas were it's personal, right? Take your business personally, but don't take responses personally. So I think we navigated that. Now we have to navigate, managing, but don't manage. Well, those are conflicting ideas. So here's something to manage. Okay, here goes. It's my opinion. If you have questions about this, check with your leader or have a call with Al, but we're pretty much on the same page on, man, almost everything on this stuff. You got to manage your emotions. That you have to manage. Ups, downs, highs, lows, they're in, they're not. They're going to be my customer, they're not. My best friend said they wouldn't have anything to do with this. A stranger said they want to join my team, and everything in between. You have to manage your emotions. So when we talk about the roller coaster, the emotional roller coaster, here's the best way I can tell you to manage the emotional roller coaster, which, by the way, folks, we all get on. It's just some of us have been on it longer than others. You guys remember the first time you flew? Like, this isn't even in my notes. Y'all remember the first time you got on a plane, or, for some of you, it's a little while ago. For some of you, it's a long time ago. Anyway, but here's my point. Here's my point. The first time you got on a plane, right? I want you to think about this. The plane gets to about 10 to 12,000 feet. It's just about, 2 miles in the air. And the engines are whistling. And they are working, right? And then at about 10, 12,000 feet, all of a sudden you hear this. Who knows what I'm talking about? And all of a sudden you're like, anybody know what it means to be a white knuckle passenger? You're grabbing out like, oh my God, what just happened? Everything's why are we slowing down? Here's what's crazy. You're not slowing down at all. The engines just don't have to work as hard because it got the momentum and it got this massive thing up in the air. And now the engines have become more efficient. They don't have to work as hard because now they've created that momentum. So we have to manage our emotions when that happens. Now, let me ask you guys a question. Now, when that happens, no big deal. You already know. This is just what happens. Why does that happen? Because you've flown so many times. So what does this have to do with ACN? Only everything. When you go through this on a regular basis, you can manage the highs and the lows and the ups and downs because you've been there. So now you're managing your emotions. It's just, you guys, like, you got to act like you've been there before. Someone joins, someone doesn't, someone's in, someone's out. Look, I did a presentation for Red. I won't go into the details, but I'm just going to tell you this. This is a really great contact she has. And it took some courage because of this person's position. It took some courage on her part to get him in front of the information. But, you know, if you know Red or you get to know her, she's a pretty courageous person. You know, she doesn't let a lot of fear hold her back. So here's what happened, you guys. Please follow along with this. Red gets this gentleman on the call. And look, this is not my first rodeo. So we presented and the call was going freaking awesome. Presentation is great. The guy gets it, sees an opportunity. This is absolutely awesome. At the end of it, I said, hey, listen, you know, there's some big bonuses on the table and you'd have the opportunity to work with Red. I said, do you see an opportunity with this? He goes, I absolutely do. I said, what's your favorite part? And he's like, well, I really like how you explain the comp plan and the residual income. And I said, well, I appreciate that. I'm excited to have the opportunity to work together. You and I and Red would probably do really great things. And he goes, in fact, I have to tell you, I signed up in this business 2 weeks ago. Wait a minute. 20-second timeout. Hold up. Now, I didn't say this to him, but I'm like, hold up. Come on, you guys, finish the other line. Hold up. Wait a minute. You had me jump through hoops. I gave you a first-class A-star, you know, A+, 5-star presentation. I explained this to you left, right, and center. We connected. Everything is going great. And when I'm done, that's when you tell my friend Red, who's your friend, that you already signed up in this. Why didn't you let us know on screen number 1 when you saw ACN? Now, let me ask you all a question. Did I have to manage my emotions? Did Red have to manage her emotions? Well, you should have seen the text between the two of us. She's like, WTF? I'm like, back at you. What's going on here? Right? So my point is this. Sometimes that happens. You know, I have this conversation with Greg Williamson a lot because Greg was an athlete, right? And athletes have to have short memories. You know, you get into college football, everybody, listen, you guys, please get this. You get to NCAA football, every guy wearing a jersey was the best guy in their conference in high school. Every one of them. And then when you get to the pros, every guy wearing a pro jersey was the best guy on their college team. So you're going against the best of the best. So when you get beat on a play, or you get intercepted, or there's a fumble, or if you're in baseball, a ground ball gets by you, or you're a pitcher, you give up a home run, or if you're a batter, you hit a home run. You better have here's, you guys, I love this month of topics because you have to remember what happened, but you have to have a short memory. I'm going to cover that next week. So here you need, in fact, hang on a minute. Oh man, I hope you guys get this stuff from this month. Hang on. Hang on a minute. Okay, so here goes. So when we talk about managing your emotions, you have to manage them. You don't have a choice because you guys understand if every person that said yes, you're throwing a party, and every person that said no, you want to jump off a bridge. Who understands that is no way to go through life? So I'm going to tell you how to handle it. Who would like to know how to handle and manage your emotions? Okay, here goes. Ready? I know that you're not unmuted, but I'm going to read your lips to see if you can get this. I'm going to say something to you, and every single phrase that I say, you need to respond out loud. And I know some of you are in an office, so just whatever, whisper loudly. You need to respond out loud. And by the way, I'm going to see if you're doing it or not. If your camera's on, if your camera's not on, your camera should be on. Okay. Yeah, actually, you know what? Oh, unmute everybody. Unmute everybody. Perfect. This is what I'm talking about. Perfect. Man, Mr. Clemens, you're right on this. Unmute everybody or allow everybody to unmute. And then We're going to remute when I'm done with this little exercise. So here goes. All right, y'all, unmute yourselves.
Hi, Ivan.
Okay, unmute yourselves.
Okay, unmute yourselves.
Test.
Yes, yes, yes.
Perfect. All right,
Yes.
Catherine, Layla, Danny, I got you.
Yes.
Bob, I got you. Rick, Bob, you probably already know what I'm going to do. Here goes, you guys. I'm going to say something to you. And no matter what I say to you, your response needs to be 3 words. That's a fact. No matter what I'm saying. Here goes. People are going to join your team.
That's a fact.
They're going to quit your team.
That's a fact.
They're going to be your customer.
That's a fact.
Will not be your customer.
That's a fact.
Who will support you.
That's a fact.
Who will discourage you.
That's a fact.
You don't quit, you will win.
That's a fact.
A freaking fact.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
You can mute everybody. So watch this, you guys.
It's a freaking fact.
It doesn't matter if you do or not. Here goes. Watch this, you guys. Check this out. If everything I just said to you is a fact, and it is a fact, all those things, do you all agree? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
My advice to you, when those things happen, and they will. Here is my clinical, high-level, master's degree, psychological advice. Here it goes. It's complicated. Follow along. When those things happen, and they will. You ready? Don't trip. Don't trip. Relax. Mama said there'd be days like this. Mama said there'd be days like this. Give me a break. You're going to let one freaking person, I would never do that thing. It looks like the people at the top make all the money and you're just trying to give people, man, shut up. Actually, you know what you do? Don't tell them to shut up. Here's what you do. Have more fun. Bring them over and say, dude, look, I don't know who hurt you, but let me give you a hug and send you on your way. That's it. That's it. Don't trip. People are going to join. People won't. People will be your customer. People won't. People will have your back. People won't. And you guys, you don't know what your path is or how long things are going to take because you're dealing with human beings. But one of the things that will shorten your time frames is your ability to have an emotional maturity about what's happening in our business. Stay consistent. So you got to manage your emotions. You have to manage your activities. That's my message. You can manage your emotions and you can manage your activities. Here's what you cannot manage: other people. Hey, just checking in to see if you got any customers. Hey, just checking in to see if you piqued anybody. Hey, just checking in. Hey, just wanted to check in and see, hey, how's that team building going? Hey, are you inviting people? Now, look, you guys, I'm not saying don't talk to your team. I'm saying that, you know, that there's phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, and phase 4, and that's a conversation for another day. But you always want to be in phase 1, which is personally peaking, personally recruiting, and personally acquiring customers. And if you do that, guess what? Your business will never stall. It'll never stall. So some of you who don't have any production going on right now, I'm letting you know you are not in phase 1. Or if you are in phase 1, you're trickling in phase 1. You guys, peaking one person a week, peaking one person a week, you can build ACN, but I'm letting you know it's going to take a long time. I'm just telling you, it's going to take a long time. If you're peaking one person a week, you guys, right? Like if you're putting all your chips in on one person, every card is about this one person. I'm letting you know that's a tough way to build a business. Here's how I know that. McDonald's doesn't have one location, neither does Lowe's, neither does Home Depot, right? They got them all over the place. So you guys want to think about this. This is a super important part of what it is that we do. The law of large numbers will never, ever, 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 ever fail you. So you cannot manage your team, right? You can help them, you can support them, but if all you're doing is checking in on the 4 people on your team, hey, did you talk to anybody? Yeah, you got to get out there, you got to do that. And you're not doing what you're talking about, that's a challenge. Because the universe is going to understand that. Now, the flip side of the coin is also true. When you start doing the things you're talking about and you start behaving and acting as a leader, don't be surprised if your team starts doing the same thing. Do not be surprised, because that will happen. And it is so exciting when it does. And now you have people out. Hey, Natasha, Ismail, you see people out there and they're doing what you're doing. Why? Because you are leading by example. By the way, side note, put a little star, check mark, smiley face next to this. The 3 most important words in ACN: lead by example. So you want to manage your emotions. You want to manage your activities, be consistent with them, but you don't want to manage your team. You want to empower your team. You want to give them the resources so they can go out and do what you do. See, here's the issue. If you're managing your team, you're controlling the activity. And if you're controlling the activity, it never has a chance to grow without you. So you want to empower and teach people to do what you do. Now, look, you guys, I'm going to tell you, here's a little bit of leadership. Al, hopefully this isn't too advanced, and you can yell at me later if it is. So here's the deal. And that's okay. It's okay. I'm good. I'm good with it. Doesn't really matter. I mean, it matters, but you can. Anyway, here's the deal, you guys. When you are working with someone and someone joins the team and they say something like, hey, listen, I don't have a lot of time to do this, and I'll sign up a few customers. I'll introduce you to a few people. Great. You work through that person and you find someone through someone through someone. Who do you know? Who do you know? Who do you know? Who do you know? Right? How many of us have said things like, man, I just wish I could get my team to do more. I just wish they would do more. Wrong question. 100%. Figure out how you can do more. Don't worry about your team. Help them, support them, be there for them, encourage them, include them in everything. Do not wait for them. Do not wait for them. I'm going to let you know, right? You see a lady on this call. Her name is Sherry. She's on the team. She's in Arizona, but I was introduced to her through someone up here in Washington. You guys understand something. I needed about a year with this move to get our lives settled, all the animals, all the craziness up here. But we are in building mode now. And guess what, you guys? If it's not the next person, it'll be the next person. And if it's not that person, it's going to be the next person. And do not be surprised if I start 5 new teams before the end of, I don't know, maybe before the next national. I mean 5 new teams that are building. So right now your thought is, well, Dean, you're doing this full time. Well, you can do that. I mean, that's nonsense. That's not true. That's not why I'm doing it. Everybody can be a part-time professional if you're consistent. You guys, there are so many hours in the day. Please do not make me get into the amount of time it takes to pique someone's interest and get them on a 3-way text with your leader. Please don't make me do that. Okay, you're making me do it. It's about 30 seconds. Everybody's got 30 seconds in a day times 100. Come on. That's crazy talk that people don't have time to do this. You know why people say they don't have time to do it? They say they don't have time to do it because they don't understand the system. They don't understand what it is that's actually required to get your business started. Make sense, everybody? Yes or no? Now, look, I told you guys every single call, I'm going to let you know. Listen, I heard Al Thomas, before he brought me up, start to talk about this window of time that we have before the end of the year when we're launching online banking and home and auto insurance. You guys, give me a break. If there was ever a time in my ACN career to communicate with people and myself, it is now time to take action like never before. We have a 6-month window before this launches. Understand the most valuable thing that you have in a networking company is what's coming. The next what's coming for us is massive. It affects everyone. So how do you get yourself prepared to build into those launches? It's getting trained and getting to these events, right? It's getting trained and getting to the events that are coming. So let me show you. Hang on one second before I wrap up. The next big event that I'm going to be a part of, that a number of the leaders are going to be a part of, and I keep coming back to Mr. T because I'm going to kidnap him. I'm telling you, I know he's covering his face. He's like, "Oh my God, Dean, do not tell everybody that you're kidnapping me." Well, like, look, man, you and Mr. Clemens, you guys are world travelers, so I already know. We just have to make sure I make it happen in your schedule. So here goes, you guys. I'm going to put my email in the chat so you can reach out to me. Look. Yeah, Marvetta, you already put it there. So here goes. It's the Tao leadership. Here's my email address. If you want the information, if you do, great. If you don't worry about it. It's going to be a sellout anyway. Here goes. Now, why would I show you this? Why? One reason. Because if we can do something to advance your business and you get one skill set that moves you closer to regional coordinator, regional director, regional vice president, senior vice president, I'm trying to get to Al's position. You have senior vice presidents, Jeff Weber, Efren Tejada, Jocelyn Carey. You guys know them. They're on this call with Al. Renata Krumer, you know her, Platinum Regional Vice President. She's bringing a team from the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, to be at this event. Myself, Mike Basutti, who broke every record in the company, and our co-founder is going to be there, Tony Kupas. We arrive on Wednesday, May 7th, training all day on Thursday, May 8th, half of a day of training on Wednesday, May 9th. Now, here's why I'm telling you this. I'm going to leave this up here so you guys can screenshot it. 3, 2, 1, done. Now, what's one of the reasons why I tell you guys this? What's one of the reasons why I keep coming back onto Mr. Thomas's call? Number one, I take it as a compliment from him, right? And that's important to me. But here's what I know. If something that we go over changes, impacts, enhances, builds, increases one person's business on this call, it was time well spent. That's the way I look at it. It was absolutely time well spent, right? And I will tell you this, based on what we covered earlier, that is a fact. That's a fact. We are in the business of enhancing and building people, right? We just happen to have the most amazing vehicle in ACN because guess what? People are going to pay for these things anyway. My question for you is this, wrapping up. When ACN announces the launch date of FinTech and home and auto, how big of a team do you want to have? That's what you have to ask yourself. Is it worth working towards to have 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 50, 100, 200 people? Well, if you have 200 people on your team and nobody knows what they're doing, guess what? You just became an adult babysitter. If you have 200 people that know what you're doing, guess what? You are running a business. And if they know what they're doing, you don't have to manage them. You can work with them and find and develop leadership. So you guys, last week was taking your business personally, but not taking it personal. Today is about managing yourself, but not managing your team. These are conflicting ideas, but hopefully I've given some clarity onto how this thing works. You want to empower them, not manage them. That makes sense, everyone? Let me ask you guys one question before I turn it back over to Al. You don't have to unmute anybody, but I just want to see this. Do you believe that there is a place at regional and senior vice president for you? Your response should be 3 words. Do you believe that there is a place at regional or senior vice president for you? Yes or no? That's a fact. That's a fact. All right, you guys, that's what I got for you today. I hope it was helpful. Mr. T, I'll turn it back over to you.